Callum kicks it off. Jock Sanders is back in the Stampeder lineup on the return. Up over the 30, 35-yard line. The newcomer Bo Lacombo in his second game has the special team tackle.
High percentage passes, but that's good play calling. Kevin Glenn went 5 for 5. Got Andrew Harris involved out of the backfield. They alternated with he and Stephen Logan, and Glenn orchestrates a 9-play, 76-yard drive this game after winning the coin toss and electing to take the ball.
So let's see how Calgary responds with Drew Tate and John Cornish, the ball carrier. And Cornish falls forward to the 39 and as close to 5.
Well, John Cornish back in the lineup, missed last week versus Montreal. Now, Drew Tate didn't have a great game last week in his first start in a long time. Been 27 games since Drew Tate's last start. Only completed 50% of his passes, struggled a little bit, but Cornish will help. And with Marquay McDaniel out of the game due to injury, they're going to have to lean on Nick Lewis. He's got to have his best game of the year.
Drew Tate 4-0 at home. They'll hand it right back to Cornish, and he'll be close to the first down. You know, I'm not suggesting Solomon Elimimian was looking Toronto last week, but when we talked to him the day before the game, he was already referencing John Cornish and how he was looking forward to this matchup tonight.
Yeah, day before Toronto, he gave us a little inside info that he was looking forward to going head-to-head with the best in the league. And John Cornish is the best running back in the Canadian Football League. He's averaging 7.8 yards per carry, back in the lineup and healthy, and Solomon Elimimian can't wait.
So Cornish that short of a first down. Did not play in Montreal. Undisclosed injury. And a maintenance week for him after 3 consecutive 100-yard games, including a brilliant 174-yard performance against the Toronto Argonauts in their last home game. So third and about the length of a football for Calgary. Bryant Moniz in the short yardage situation, and not much there. That's the newcomer Rob Lohr, who came over the top, lost his helmet. 25-year-old out of Vanderbilt, who draws in with an illness to Khalif Mitchell that has him a scratch tonight.
Yeah, he was going to start the game. Mike Benavides told me he would play in the first couple of snaps, and then they'd go to more to Jabbar Westerman inside with Eric Taylor. And it's going to be key for the Lions if they can contain John Cornish.
Forward progress is enough for a fresh set of downs, and Drew Tate checks back in. Keep feeding it to Cornish. Good first down production here up to the 52 before he is driven back. Elimimian and Big Hill on the scene.
So if the Lions defensively want to contain and try and control John Cornish, they're going to need that triangle inside. Jabbar Westerman, Eric Taylor, maybe a little Rob Lohr in there as well as he rotates with Westerman, and then Solomon Elimimian in the middle, who scrapes, gets to the football better than any linebacker in the league. That's the key to stopping the run.
Stampeders come out determined to establish the ground game, and now second down, and the throw for Maurice Price is incomplete. Covered on the play by T.J. Lee, who gets the start in place of the injured Dante Marsh.
Yeah, what they do is they move Ronnie Yell into the boundary side corner and put T.J. Lee on the wide side corner. He's going one-on-one with Maurice Price, and good timing to pull that right arm down as the ball arrives.
So a third down, and Rob Maver comes on to kick. Logan and Marco Iannuzzi are back for BC. Kicking into the breeze in this first quarter. It'll be Logan from the 16, and he gets drilled. Big hit there. Josh Bell downfield in a hurry. Former BC Lion. Check that, Lin J. Shell with the hit. Tim St. Pierre there as well. BC Live football. Andrew Harris gets outside. He's got some running room up over the 30-yard line and cut down there by Jamar Wall, but an 11-yard pickup for Andrew Harris.
Andrew Harris, last time these two teams met, he had over 100 yards from the line of scrimmage, 143 to be exact. 101 of those yards fourth quarter.
Balanced attack so far. 10 plays have been run. Kevin Glenn 5 for 5 runs, and now the direct snap. Logan off the right side, and he'll be wrestled down by Derod Mayo after.
Lions concentrate on one and give them the ball over 13 times. The average for their team goes up in rushing, and so does the yards per carry. Either one of these backs get it less than 13, those numbers drop significantly. So Kahar Jones got to ride one of these backs. I know they're rotating them right now. And running backs love the top end, the last 8 carries.
Looks like Harris has been the primary receiver. Logan a runner, and Emmanuel Arsenault is the receiver with a catch up at the 46 and a first down.
You know, when you talk to running backs, Chris, and they'll tell you it's the 13th carry to the 21st that they really can do some damage, because that's when the defense is worn down. That's when you can find that crease and make those big gains. In the fourth quarter, 101 yards for Andrew Harris. Talk to Benavides about it. He understands it as well, and you're going to see a lot of it.
First down, and the screen gets tipped at the line. Keon Raymond was blitzing and got a hand on the football. It's the first incompletion of the night for Kevin Glenn.
Benavides said to me, he said, yeah, we're going to start to feature one of our backs at a time. You're not going to see that twin set much with both of them in the backfield, especially tonight.
So 2nd and 10. Pressure coming. The throw is intercepted. Brian Burnham hadn't looked back. And when he did, Brandon Smith had the football in his hands. First interception of the year for Smith. And Calgary gets the football back.
Brian Burnham's trying to get out of his curl route here, and when he gets to his break, Brandon Smith is going to jam him and distract him just a split second long enough that he can't get out of his break in time. And when he can't get out of that break, Smith is in better position on the football than Brian Burnham.
Brandon Smith, the 7-year vet, his first interception, the second thrown by Kevin Glenn in the last 5 games.
Also 3rd in the league in tackles. So active player for Brandon Smith. We're going to take a look at this.
See if
after review, the ruling on the firm. Interception. First down.
We didn't get an announcement from the officials on a challenge from Mike Benavides, but clearly he did to see if it was pass interference. But there was a little bit of a tug from Brandon Smith, a little bit of a push from Brian Burnham. They're not going to call that.
Stampeders set up. Their 54, direct snap. John Cornish trying to get outside, and he gets upended as Elamimian makes the play.
Well, John Cornish starts this game 177 yards behind the rushing leader in Brandon Whitaker. And it's 162 after the start of this football game into the first quarter here. I don't think there's many that don't think he can track him down.
Also came into the game 197 yards away from the top 25 all-time CFL history. As Willie Reeves in his sights, takes this pass, and he'll be gang tackled and tossed back.
You can tell by the amount of BC Lions on that gang tackle that number 9 is the focus of their attention tonight. You think that they're aware of where John Cornish is on the field. He's going to catch this swing pass, and let's just count how many BC Lions fly to the football as soon as he gets the ball in his hands. I mean, here they come. Now 9 has it. Stop it right here for a second, guys, if you can. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8th coming in there. They're going to rally around John Cornish.
Maver kicks it away again, Logan. And Logan gets tossed down after a 43-yard boot by Maver. We have a flag on the play. Tackle made by one of the newcomers for Calgary. Frey got down in a hurry.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 27. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jeff Heck gets the call. There's Bo Levi Mitchell back on the roster as the number 3 quarterback. Jermaine Franklin will have an update on his status when we come back. Encouraging to see Mitchell back on the sidelines in uniform with an update on his status. Here's Jermaine.
Chris, Bo Levi Mitchell is missing his 2nd straight start thanks to a knee injury and ankle injury he suffered a couple of weeks ago on a scramble. However, Bo Levi Mitchell did practice throughout the week with a knee brace. He told me that his knee and his ankle feel great with the throw. Strength is there, and if he absolutely had to play, he could. Now, John Huffnagel has nothing but praise for Bo Levi Mitchell's work ethic. He says when he arrives early in the morning, Mitchell is there literally 2 minutes after to receive treatment on his leg as well as study film. I guess when you're injured, that does not mean you get a vacation.
Getting a different view, but doesn't sound like it'll be long.
Well, 10-1 is the starter. The best touchdown interception ratio in the CFL. Yeah, they want him back as soon as he can.
Harris lines up in the backfield. Play action fake. Glenn on a roll. Downfield. Look for Burnham, and he got stretched out and leveled by Fred Bennett. And Burnham quickly to the sidelines.
Well, sometimes you're forced to throw this ball, and if you see the hit coming as the quarterback, you got to get it down low so the receiver can catch it, protect him. When that ball sails a little bit on Kevin Glenn, it exposes Brian Burnham, and he takes a big one there.
Already one less import receiver for BC. Here's Harris out of the backfield, taken down immediately, stepped out by Jawan Simpson, and a quick 2-and-out for the BC Lions on offense.
Jawan Simpson does a nice job of disguising that he's got Andrew Harris out of the backfield. Look how he's looking in this direction, trying to say, yeah, no, I'm going to come over here, and then he goes from there right into coverage immediately to Harris, tracks him down. It's his man in the flat and makes a great tackle.
Ricky Schmidt's first punt. And it sails to Jock Sanders across the 40. And Sanders is dropped by Jamal Johnson. So Solomon Elimimian back out on defense. His sight set on John Cornish.
Cornish is a guy that can make a lot of things happen. You know, a couple weeks ago, just watching them against Toronto, it's like single-handedly, he brought that team back. And he's a great runner, and he hits the hole, very hard. And if you don't account for him, it's going to be a long day for defense.
Adam Bighill tripping up Cornish this time. Downhill football played on both sides of the ball tonight with 56 and number 9.
Well, Solomon Elimimian comes in with 98 tackles on the season. It's a record pace. Should be J.C. Sherritt, if he continues with this pace, set the record at 130 in 2012. 4 games in double figures for Elimimi.
Excuse me, Suits. They've already credited him with 3 tonight, so he's into triple figures. Here's Cornish, bounce back, and dropped at the 45-yard line. So nothing on second down, and the Lions answer with a 2-and-out.
Well, they're focused in on John Cornish, and you can see how quickly Solomon Elimimi is scraping to beat the block downfield from an offensive lineman, get away from that block, and get right to the hole. You also saw Adam Bighill get in there. I mean, clearly defensive coordinator Mark Washington said, we got to stop Cornish. And that is the key for every team playing the Calgary Stampeders when number 9's in the lineup.
So Maver, Logan, and boy, the downfield cover has been terrific. Charbonneau Campo with the tackle on special teams. Got some playoff intensity here.
You know, I think both teams playing at great pace here. That first drive by Kevin Glenn, outstanding 9-play, 76-yard drive, ends in a touchdown. Good jump in their step, and since then the Calgary defense has responded a little bit. Remember, this is a defense without Charleston Hughes, their best defensive player in the lineup. He's out due to injury.
Just had a look at Quinn Smith at defensive tackle, a rebuilt defensive line with injuries to Hughes and DeMonte Bolden, as well as Corey Mace, Micah Johnson. The list is a long one.
Yeah, it is. It's an all-star list, too. And that means that the Stampeders are going to have to lean on this guy. That's Sean Lemon out of Akron. He's a guy with 6 sacks on the season and was a nice bookend and compliment to Charleston Hughes. Now he's going to have to step up and take even more of a leadership role in that defense and provide the pressure on Kevin Glenn tonight.
Number 1 defense in points allowed, but they've given up points the last 2 weeks. Right over the middle. Arsenault, a big first down catch. Ball popped loose at the end of the play. Looks like he gets back on it, and it is a catch up at the 42-yard line. That's the final play of the opening quarter. It started with a BC Lion touchdown drive, and that's the difference so far. They may have to review that last catch by Arsenault when we come back.
Hello, this is